Hey, good afternoon. No, it's not afternoon yet. Lunchtime nearly. Morning, late morning here in Liverpool. The Reds are going to be embarking upon their second pre-season friendly. They're going to be taking on Greuther Furth, which I have decided is the exact pronunciation. If there are any native German speakers in the comments, could put me correct on this or not, that would be absolutely great. Greuther Furth. Greuther Furth, that's what I'm going with. There has been a slight delay to kick off. It was supposed to start in 5 minutes' time. The official Liverpool Twitter account has said there will be a short delay to kick off due to current weather conditions. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens from that. But yes, what we know, at least right now, is that the 11 that should be starting for the game is as follows. Alisson Becker starts for the first time in pre-season after being treated as a precaution in the first game against Karlsruhe. Conor Bradley keeps his place in the starting 11, as it were. How important that is, I don't really know, but the 11 that starts the game, that remains true. Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson then complete the back four. Trent Alexander-Arnold, I would guess Alexis McAllister and Cody Gakpo in the midfield, and then it's Doak, Diaz and Jota up front for the Reds. Quite how that will lay out, if we're going on what we saw at the back end of the season and what we saw in the first pre-season friendly, I would guess Gakpo in this instance will be playing one of the offensive eight. I guess the right-hand side. McAllister play the left. It will be Jota leading the line, Doak from the right, Diaz from the left, and then we'll see potentially Conor Bradley invert. I'm just going to have a little mess around with this in a second. And see if we can have a little mess around with what the potential lineups would be. But let me know your thoughts on that 11. What are you excited to see? Who are you most excited to see? LFC have got the players warming up on the pitch, so at least they are out. I mean, it's a behind closed doors game, so there was talk about like he made a big deal of being behind closed doors, and then to have the game delayed. My initial thought was, is it normally because of like crowd trouble and they can't get people in? Yeah, no, it can't be that. So yeah, so that's where we're at. We did have a comment. Now, can someone verify this, whether this is in fact the man himself, my good friend Rory Jennings? And if it's not, then it's someone who's obviously got far too much time on the hands. But anyway, the hot take: Frank Lampard was not only better than Klopp as a footballer, but also as a manager. He was definitely a better footballer, and I feel certain that Jurgen Klopp would very much be the first to admit that as well. Who talks a lot about himself in like terms of like being in his words like a very, very average footballer. So yeah. There you go. A good strong start to the comments game. If you want to get involved with me in the stream, then you can do by using the live show chat on YouTube. If you are a Legend tier subscriber on Redmen Plus, if you put your comment in the live show chat channel in the Discord, it'll feed into the feed so I can put things on the screen as well. We have got let me see. We got some comments here. The mighty Doak's got that attitude, right-footed on right, proper old-school winger, Joe Cole type. Jesus fucking Christ. Do not make that comparison. Don't ever make that comparison. I mean, for a start, Joe Cole could not have been less of a winger if he tried. Joe Cole was a luxury, dribbly, probably more. I know he played wide for Chelsea, but he was much more of like a 10 than anything. He never had the pace to be a winger. I do get what you're saying in terms of Doug, the fact that we're playing a right-footed who plays on the right feels a little bit more old school. But yeah, I'm not having, please do not jinx anyone with Joe Cole comparisons. I mean, I always think about it. Like I thought it was all right when we signed him on a free transfer. I was reasonably happy with that. There might be footage of me somewhere on the YouTube channel where I'm like dancing or whatever, but I doubt it. That was Chris and Balotelli, which I think has been deleted since. Jose Mourinho hated Joe Cole because he was thick. and basically couldn't understand his tactical instructions. Let's hope that Ben Doak's not like that. I want to actually talk to you as well. We're waiting for more confirmation of what's going on with the game. Have you all watched the Jurgen Klopp interview on the Liverpool YouTube channel? I was joking about it yesterday on the Fan Interactive show, but I really I enjoyed it. It was fine. You know, it was very, you know, a little bit of the background on Jurgen, and then him just talking about the problems of last season and how you build from them. And it's interesting because I've kind of been extolling those virtues for the last few weeks when people have been getting miserable about how the transfer window may or may not be going, etc., etc. But, you know, Jurgen Klopp's overall attitude of when you have problems and you make mistakes, what you are best doing is using them as fuel and motivation to make yourself better moving forward, basically. Joke, are you getting the audio for the telly through in your room? No. I was going to say, could you hear what Peter McDowell's saying and then relay it back to me so I don't have to turn it up? But we'll see. If you can do that, that'd be great. Okay, let's get Alex Reddo, keep it up. Anyone who watched the live shows yesterday will get on this. There was a lot of Paul puns, and Alex Reddo's picking up where we left off yesterday evening. Weather looks appalling. Brilliant. In fact, we've got the soundboard now, so how's about a... No idea where that worked. Did that, Joe? Have we got the is the iPad set up for the audio properly? God damn it, Peter McDowell. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, if you want some jokes while we're waiting, Voldstein throwing one in the comments there. Just read Spurs are in the hunt to sign Mbappe. The Mbappe stuff is wild, isn't it? Absolutely wild. We're going to be doing the Bias Transfer podcast on Redmen Plus this afternoon after the game. We've moved the podcast from today till tomorrow morning, by the way, if you're interested. But yeah, the Mbappe stuff is going to dominate that show this afternoon. Like, the more and more stuff that comes out of it, Eurofoot, via James Benge, apparently, is a CBS correspondent, saying on top of Al Hilal's €300 million offer to PSG for Mbappe, they'll pay the forward a salary of €700 million for just 1 year. €700 million is a weekly wage of £13 million. €30 million. This will allow him to depart to Real Madrid for free next summer. That is crackers, that, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. Wow, wild. Absolutely wild. Yeah, DC, just going back on it, says I was so excited when we got Joe Cole. Yeah, it's funny how those things happen, isn't it? Funny how those things happen where we should be. I'm always wary when you sign players from teams that are supposed to be your rivals. Because I often think, well, why would they let them go? And like James Milner's a great exception to that rule, by the way. But a lot of that, we know the truth behind that was he had lofted ambitions, and you know, wanted to play in a particular position. That's why he fell foul of Manchester City. But yeah, Chelsea not wanting Joe Cole and not offering him the contract, and then coming to Liverpool on a free, and then that was the era of you'd sign players and you'd sign a star. Like Joe Cole was seen as Liverpool signing a bit of a star. So when I get people, I've seen it for years now, when people get annoyed at Liverpool aren't going for a particular player, or why don't they sign X, Y, and Z, like a profile of footballer. And I remember the signing. Harry Kewell was seen as that. Joe Cole was seen as that. Because Thiago was kind of seen as that. The jury's still out on him. Yeah, when we sign the supposed ready-made footballers, they very rarely have a great impact at Liverpool, in history anyway. Things can change, of course. John Williams says, Ben Doak, Messi regen. Yeah, I'm here for that. I think that's Muzialowski, right? Muzialowski? Jesus Christ, Paul. He's neither Polish Messi. That's another thing. Always avoid never buy a player who is the insert other country other than Argentina and then the best player in the world. So never buy the Polish Wesley Sneijder, for example. Yes. Jeppe Fonts says, Paul, I think we should sign the Italian DM talent Stu Pedasso. What do you think? Have you done that? Is that like an attempt at like a Hugh Janus type situation? Is that what that is? Is that like stupid asshole? Is that what we've gone for? Or is that a real footballer? Because that could be that could be totally made up. And if it's totally made up, then cool. Sounds. Josh Owen asked the question: when is Last Fan Standing back? I don't think it's coming back, mate. Certainly not. Certainly, no one's told me about it. If they have, I am tentatively lined up to do some other stuff next season, but we'll see. We'll see what comes of that. Volstein is going to bat for Joe Cole here, saying Joe Cole could have done a lot more for the Reds, just signed at a dreadful time. No, Joe Cole was never as good as he was touted as being. Good skills. He scored that goal for England against Sweden, I want to say. Was that in the World Cup? And then spent the rest of his time in that tournament and pretty much the rest of his career trying to score it again because he'd done it once. Sam Mahoney says... Doak is more of a gigs, to be honest. I get what you're saying. I nearly threw that name out when I was thinking about traditional sort of wingers or whatever. But yeah, I'm not. Hopefully, he's got more goals because I think that's the issue about the idea of traditional wingers is traditional wingers would score about 5 to 8 goals a season across all comps because of course you were played so much deeper. So it'd be interesting to see, is Doak the kind of guy who's going to be, and Diaz looks a bit like this as well, really good in the final third. Oh, Dan Club, you absolute hero. So just to update everyone, Steve Hoare made me a brew, right? And I didn't taste it before coming down into the studio. What a guy. What a guy. Yeah, if you would make sure. In fact, if you can you go and throw it in Steve's face for me? That'd be amazing, yeah. I didn't taste Steve's brew, which sounds filthy when you say it like that, before committing to being on camera. And it was the worst. It was one of the worst brews I've ever had in my entire life, and it's all. So in fact, if we could all just tweet Steve Hoare, if anyone can get Twitter up or whatever it's called these days, I just want you all to just go and tweet at Steve Hoare, at SteeHoare, and just say make better brews. If you could just tweet him that, like for example, in fact, we'll get it up here. If all you have to do is go Steve Hoare, oh, that's not how you spell his name, brilliant. Steve Hoare, yeah, there he is, and then just put make better brews. I mean, you can embellish that if you want. I'm just going to tweet him from the Redmen account. There you go. Sounds. I mean, that's put a lot of pressure on Dan Club's fresh brew, to be honest. But we'll have to see what happens. Right. Okay. I think we've had a super chat in. I'm a big fan of YouTube comment puns. So really killing their bank account. You've got a nub of something there, the genus of something. It's a seed. It's a pod. It's the metapod of a joke there. I feel like you've got better in you though, mate. If I'm being perfectly honest, I think we can do better. Hit me with some Kylian Mbappe transfer. In fact, just hit me with some general Liverpool and transfer related punnage in the comments, please. Because yeah, I think that would be a thing. To go back. Joe Cole. I mean, he scored on his debut, right? Is that right? Oh no, he saw a tell. I know he did. He got sent off on his debut. Imgog scored in that game against Arsenal, and that almost there's a sliding door as well, right? And I have this theory about how your first game of your season sets up how your season's going to be. If you lose, then it can set up a really bad season. I think if you draw your opening game, it's like a mark of you're going to have a really underwhelming campaign where it could go well, but ultimately you're going to chase your dreams and fall short. Good seasons are built on good starts, and that first game of the season, we started well against Arsenal, and then obviously Joe Cole gets sent off and we draw. I think we drew 1-1 in that one. And if Roy Hodgson had won that game, and Cole maybe hadn't been sent off, there's a world where Liverpool was sitting in a completely different universe. It's a bit like if Biff had the sports almanac. Maybe it's, maybe this studio is a post-apocalyptic shit zone of a Biff Tannen / casino deal. If you haven't seen Back to the Future 2, this is going to be a real stretch to understand what I'm talking about here. But yeah, it is funny how these things happen, and maybe Joe Cole helped set Liverpool on the path to where they are today. So yeah, let's call it that and leave it at that. Yeah. Anyway, while I'm talking about the whole, it wasn't a joke apparently, Voldstein. Here's one from Stuart McKim, just on the starting lineup. No Keller, I hope that doesn't mean he's off. I don't think so. From what we were having a chat in the office, they've taken like all the goalkeepers with them. So what we saw last time around was obviously Kelleher started the game, and it was Jaros and Mrozek on the bench. This time around, it's Alisson starting, and it's Adrian and Pitaluga on the bench. So it just seems to me like they are rotating the goalkeepers around. I don't think there's anything more to it than that. I can't see a world where they're going to sell Kelleher, unless one of the young lads really, really steps up in the next couple of pre-season games. But even then, I don't think any of them are ready. I'm not sure Jaros is of the level. I've seen nothing of Mrozek, so I couldn't tell you where he's at. Harvey Davies is a little young and he's Scouse, so there'll be big hopes for him. I wonder whether might get a. In fact, has he got a loan already lined up? I think that might be the case. I think that's true. And then past that, Pitaluga is a little young as well. Obviously had the loan last season, but still trained. Was still able to just come back and train at the academy. There's high hopes for him. There really is. But yeah, beyond that, I don't think he's not ready to fill the slot. And if you were to take, at the moment, I'm not sure anyone's better than any of the young players are better than Adrian, which means you're weakening your offering effectively. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do with that one. We're 11 minutes in. That doesn't look like it's behind closed doors. Look at all those people there. Disgusting. We asked if we could. We genuinely asked if we could get in there, and they said no. So here we are. A little jaunt to Germany, not on the cards for me this year, unfortunately. Greg Walton asks for thoughts on the Kimmich link. I haven't seen this link anywhere other than people asking me about it in YouTube comments, if I'm being perfectly honest, mate. I know, I'll find it. So, Paisley Gates, who are doing a very good job this summer of being a Liverpool news aggregator. Fuck me, that's all. They say in days Liverpool will submit an offer to sign 298,000 a week star report. A few days ago, Kicker revealed the German champions will listen to serious offers for the versatile star who wants to stay at the Allianz. Well, that's going to be a big problem. More recently, Spanish source Fichajes have revealed that even the 28-year-old midfielder is looking to leave the Bavarians in the current transfer window. Well, that completely contradicts that, so that's take that with a pinch of salt. In such an area, Premier League stars like the Reds and the two Manchester clubs preparing to move with everything to sign the German international. It's reported that in the coming days, Liverpool and the Premier League rivals will start submitting offers to Bayern in order to secure the signing of Kimmich. The former Leipzig star has won every major title with Bayern, has been one of the best play breakers, come deep lying playmakers in the world. Is anyone else a child? Just me. It sounds deep flying playmakers in the world. I can't see a world where Liverpool move for Josh Kimmich, if I'm being honest, mate. It does stand to reason. If he was moving, I could see that being a Man City signing where they let Calvin Phillips move on and just get Kimmich in on a short-term deal, perhaps. But yeah, I wouldn't. I would be very sceptical on that, if I'm being perfectly honest. I wouldn't be totally against it as a short-term solution. And I think Liverpool have got a number of kind of options options laid out in front of them. I think there was initially the world where Fabinho and Henderson stay and you buy one lad who can do the DM stuff. I think there's a Fabinho leaves, Henderson stays thing where you can go and you can possibly get away with still just getting a young player, but with both of them gone, I think you need someone who's ready for now, and then you need to consider what happens next, because you've lost your first and second choice 6 from last season have gone now. And now maybe Trent can move into there, but if you move Trent into there, you need to have someone else who can play in the inverted fullback role. Interesting to see Conor Bradley do that. Is he just doing that because of the absence of genuine 6s for Liverpool, which means Trent's been moved there as third choice number 6 for us, perhaps? And obviously no Thiago is not back fit yet. So yeah, there's still a lot of kind of unknowns on this. I think there's a world where if we can't get our top targets, and I still think our top target's probably someone like Tchouaméni, say, because we know that Liverpool were in for him last summer. We knew that they wanted him. I'm not sure that will have changed in 12 months, apart from maybe they might be a little bit pissed off that he didn't choose to sign for them. You call it on-out Danjuma syndrome. But if they can't get that, maybe there's something where they get a stopgap 1 year player while they wait for the market to shift around a little bit and then go and get a main man next summer. So that could be Joao Palhinha from Fulham, that could be Josh Kimmich. But that's my general thoughts on the Kimmich thing. It doesn't feel like a very Liverpool move. Rachel with another similar one here. Rachel Seeley, thoughts on Liverpool signing Valverde? Okay, well, let's just see. It's Federico, right? Let's see what happens when we put that into the old Google machine. The top one, ESPN FC. Why would Real Madrid let Federico go to Liverpool? There's nothing, absolutely nothing in that. The Daily Mail were doing some puff piece on Liverpool will look to test Real Madrid's resolve with a huge 77 million bid, and that was back in June. So that was nearly a month ago since there's been even a remote chat around it, to be honest. Liverpool don't. No, there's not a team that doesn't need Valverde because he's so good. But I think we've signed Szoboszlai, and that's what he is. I don't think you need to do another like that. If I'm being honest, as upsetting as that is, to be honest. Okay, go ahead. Our first attempt at providing humour since asked for. Dr. G. Jenkins. My neighbour has got a German Shepherd in his house as well, Paul. And he's got a dog too. Right. Okay, cool. We'll move on, shall we? The teams are taken to the pitch now, finally. 17 minutes at the moment after the original allotted kickoff time. So that's where we're at so far. John Matip still on his tracky top, just strolling out to the substitutes bench, looking a little bemused at the whole situation. Wonder if they're all getting proper lockdown vibes here. There's Conor Bradley with his little goatee, number 84, one to watch in this game certainly. 7 out of 10. Right, so it's not a real footballer from the question earlier. Okay, if we're going to try and get me to say weird football names, can they at least, when you say them out loud, make something? Haikal Iskander asks, any of the Redmen crew flying to Singapore for the games? At the moment, no. No, it was just a bit too far and too much money at the moment, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, so... Yeah, if something was to drop in amazing in the coming days, I would be totally up for. If someone from Singapore wants to, host us to do a live event in the coming days and, wants to cover our travel expenses to do it, then we're in. Get in touch. Email steve@redmentv.com. Also tell them to make it better brew. Yeah. Jose Cambronero. Deep Cut Simpsons reference. Sort of. Supposedly Fabinho's move to Saudi's in peril because of his dog's breed. Can't be real, can it? So I dedicated more than I should have done of the live show yesterday evening to this topic. The general gist is that everything I've read so far, and I haven't corroborated it on I haven't checked the banned dog breeds for or whatever, but there are a couple of reports that suggest that yes, Fabinho's dogs, his type of dog, are considered like dangerous and violent breeds, and therefore are not allowed into the country at all. I have no more than that, but all we know right now is this is where we're at, is that Fabinho, despite Liverpool agreeing a fee for him like 2 weeks ago, still hasn't completed his move to Al Ittihad. So yeah, here we go. It's actually a good one. It's like a bit of a Bendo comparison. I like this one. The Mighty Doan says, I got another one, not Cole, but Craig Bellamy. Yeah, I can see that. He's small, he's really fast, he's strong, he's powerful, he's narky. I can see a bit of Craig Bellamy in Doak, and I like that because I think he obviously Welsh legend, but you're not putting loads of weight on his shoulders by using that comparison. It looks like we're about to kick off. I need to drink this cup of tea because I'm yawning like a motherfucker at the moment. Neither captains seem to really care what's going on. Virgil's like going, do I attack the end with no people in or the end with no people in? He really cares. Little handshake. The teams are going to stay as they are, and Greuther Furth are going to kick off. I like that, Kai. That's a good name. I think. See, this is more like. This is more like it. These are the kind of names that I want to see thrown out. Right, we are underway here at the Technology Arena, apparently, just because it says it above the stand. Liverpool attacking from right to left. They've given away possession early doors. Greuther Furth, of course, a second-tier German side. Lovely little touch inside there from Luis Diaz. Overhits the pass, one for Ben Doak to go and win back, and does. And he gives the ball to Ibu Konate. And Trent gives it back to Alisson Becker. That's great, Kai. I really like that one. Helmet Schmeller. Yeah, keep your thoughts on whatever coming in the comments. If you've got funny things to say, then by all means do. Yeah, Steve Ryder says, echoing my thoughts here in the Club Legends Discord chat, who would them fuckers in the ground? Behind closed doors, unless you know the groundsman. Absolutely. Yeah, and Surab, no Redmen Originals podcast today. We've moved it till tomorrow because of this game. But we do have the Biased Transfer podcast on Redmen Plus going out this afternoon as well. So yeah. Right, okay. Ball being played round the back for Greuther Furth. I need to see last time out, Google had the team up, but I'm not sure they've got it. I'm not sure they've got it this time around. I'm going to check. Let's see if they've got it. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Google. Andy Robertson's just left it in the left-back position. Retreats to Van Dijk, who in turn goes back to Alisson Becker. Great to see Ali back. They've just put a little lens filter on there. Anyone saw that? Alisson plays the ball inside. And here's Andy Robertson peeling to Luis Diaz. Lovely little give and go on that flank. Gakpo, ball in behind. It's Andy Robertson, of all people, to the byline. Good defending, good block, and it's hacked clear. Might be a corner to Liverpool there. We'll see. We'll see in a second. But lovely little give and go down that left-hand side. Great little link up. Anyone who watched my Pro Evo or eFootball stream yesterday on our Twitch channel will know that's vintage Paul Machin eFootball attacking that. Yeah, Robbo just held on. I think he probably should just rattled one at the goalkeeper, for being perfectly honest. But yeah, LFC TV Go is arse, by the way. So I do feel sorry for if you're watching it on that. I'm watching it on LFC TV, the Sky channel. Right, corner to Liverpool, in swinger to the back post. It's going to be gathered by Luis Diaz. Liverpool pick the ball up on the corner of the penalty area. Retreat for the moment. Robertson. Nice little ball around the corner there from Alexis McAllister. Trent tries to feed it back to him. Didn't quite work out. Robbo attacks it. Kicks the ball forward very hard. Again, only to a white shirt of Greuther Furth, who were looking to turn. and break out. McAllister reads that one really well and cuts it out. Right, so we've got a couple of super chats. I'll get to those momentarily. Allison's got the ball on the edge of the 18-yard box. John Lee David Blackshaw, my absolute hero, my personal hero, says, I want a shutout today, close down quicker at YNWA. Yeah, you know, what Liverpool will be looking for is, I think, bare minimum, kind of at least more of the same. I think bare minimum, you know, it's only the second game of pre-season, but I think it's always good to see it. Oh, wow, Ben Doak, skinned us, man. Oh, I thought that had gone in. It was wonderful work from the young winger down the right-hand side, driving at the edge of the 18-yard box. Little sort of shimmy left and right, and then just turned the afterburners on and just went round his man on the outside. Terrible replay from LFC TV. There we go. Just went outside his man, absolutely smoked him. A centre-half, I think, came over to cover him, and he got away from him. I think he's definitely gone for goal. The side footer just kind of skewed it off his side foot and it goes wide in the end. Anyway, plays back underway. Their goalkeeper sends it long. Trent goes for a little flick on and it's offside. Free kick to Liverpool. Let me see if we can learn their team. So they've got Big or Your Big in goal. I like that. Dietz, Young and Itter across a back three, apparently, for them. We'll see again if that lines up correctly according to Google. That looked like a foul on Kanate there. Yeah, it will be a free kick to Liverpool. Aster, Green, Wagner and Meyerhofer across the midfield four. Kogota in a 10, is their 10, playing in the 10 apparently. And Srebeni and Lemperle playing up front. So I'm going to try, hopefully it's just the back three, that names I have to learn, which is what I did in the week. Right, lovely little build-up play again down that right-hand side for the Reds. Cut back is Alexis McAllister, I think. Shot blocked and cleared for now, but once again, really great wing play from the Reds. Lots of give and go, lots of pace, lots of overlapping. And we managed to work another chance inside the 18-yard box. Not clear-cut, obviously didn't quite create the chance. But yeah, I want to keep an eye on this. So it didn't really develop until a few minutes into the game. Does Conor Bradley play inverted again here? We'll have to see. Is Cody Gakpo dropping deep, looking for that textbook Gakpo turn and spin, drop the shoulder and spin. He had to retreat for a moment, played it forward, and the chance is broken down for Liverpool, and it goes back to Your Big in goal. Ooh, Your Big. Off to the right wing back in Aster. Played forward. Cody Gakpo challenging. Liverpool keeping a high press on here. Diaz and now Diogo Jota up on the goalkeeper. He's managed to play it through to a centre half. And they've managed to escape that press for the moment. That was really, really good though. I think it was, again, I'm just trying to work out the positions of where Liverpool are at. Because, I mean, Google's Liverpool one, it couldn't be more wrong. They've got Trent as the right side at 8 with McAllister as the 6. They've got Doak as the right side of midfield, which is very, very wrong. So I wouldn't read too much into that. But what I'm looking to see at the moment, Liverpool have got a standard back four. So Conor Bradley is playing right back, Andy Robertson playing left back. But will that change when we're in possession? Keep your eyes peeled for that one, because that's what we saw last season. And Diaz has just won it back inside the plus half. He's coming forward. He's only got Jota inside him in the number 9 position. Diaz still going towards goal. He's gone for goal. Oh, great save from the goalie. Full stretch down to his left-hand side. It just opened up for Diaz. It looked like nothing was really on. He was running down a bit of a blind alley. He had Jota again in the 9 position. Diaz is coming in more and more narrow towards goal between the width of the 18-yard box. He cut inside. It opened up, and it's a really smart save from Big in goal. Yeah, really good. It just looked like it was arrowing into that far corner of the pitch. Really good that, yeah. I mean, you suspect against better opposition, they'd be more onto Diaz. He wouldn't be given that kind of freedom to roam, to be honest. But anyway, you know, this is who we're playing. Good start. Van Dijk, Kanate and Diaz in a little triumvirate on the edge of the 18, attacking the 6-yard box now. Didn't quite reach Virgil van Dijk. It's going to drop to Trent. He heads it forward. Headed away, a little bit of head tennis. It's brought down by Greuther Furth, and they're going to look to try and break on the counter-attack. I think that's Alexis McAllister who goes in there, gets a slide tackle in, didn't quite do enough to clear it. It's a deep cross. aimless from Greuther, and it goes comfortably into the hands of Alison Becker. Right, Neil O'Callaghan sent a super chat in earlier. Apologies for the wait, mate. What are your early expectations for the season ahead? How many players will we sign and sell in total? I've lost count of the total sold. I don't think there'll be. I think Nat Phillips will go if and when he returns to fitness. I think that there's still an outside chance they might look to move Thiago in if they get the right bid. I don't think there'll be much more than that. There might be a couple of loans, and like someone like Jarell Quansah, a loan for him will depend upon whether we get another centre half in. He's on the bench today. I'm looking forward to seeing him play again. I thought he was good in his outing in the second half against Karlsruhe. So yeah, ins. I think minimum 2. Probably a maximum of 3 more to come in before the end of the window would be my suspicion. I think we need 2 midfielders and a defender, I guess. Right, not much happening. Greuther have got it in there. Half it was Young who played the ball forward. They're just trying to pass it around. They're trying to get on the ball and trying to build here at Greuther, but it's not working. Liverpool really pressing well. Ben Doak and a little scrap on the right wing. He's gone down holding his knee and his ankle there. That's not great. The guy who's in the battle with there, whose number I can't see. Well, that's not great. Doak looks to be in some discomfort there. It was the 37 for them, Green, which probably speaks again to how far Google have got these positions wrong if he's over on that side of the pitch. He walked away quite casually from it, but now he's going back to check on the prone Doak. Seems to be sitting up a little bit more now, a little handshake, but he's going to stay on the ground and receive treatment for the moment. So yeah, if you're just joining us, 10 minutes into the game, still 0-0, and Ben Doak just, I mean, it was nothing. He just got into a little collision with the guy. He was really fighting for it. He was really fighting with his man there, just got a little bit kind of testy. And he's gone down, he's receiving treatment. He did look to be in some discomfort. We'll have to see what happens there. Yes. So yeah, it hasn't really been totally clear because Liverpool haven't had any real sustained periods of comfortable possession. You know, Greuther are not like sitting in and letting Liverpool attack them. They're actually trying to get about us a little bit. Let's just see this again. He just turned his ankle slightly. He's like, yeah, you can just see, but I wonder if that might be maybe a little slight tweak of the ankle ligaments. He's hobbling. He's over on the far side of the pitch. He's back on now. Good to see. We'll see how Ben Doak reacts to that one. John Lee David Blackshaw. Paul, my wife Katie sends her love and big hugs. Oh, give her a hug off me as well, please, mate. Yeah, just a bit of a private in thing, but yeah, John and Katie were at our live show. John, long-term subscriber to Redmen Plus as well. Going through some heavy stuff, but both brilliant human beings, and it was a pleasure to be in their company at the last live event. Diaz skips past his man in a total tonal change. I apologise there. Yeah, he skipped past his guy there like he wasn't even there. That is 33. That was Dietz. It says on the back of his shirt. He just had to dive in there to stop Diaz. I mean, he was gone. He was far and away gone past him. Does this? It's like, mate, you fouled him. Just take the foul. We'll all move on. Trent and Robbo over the free kick. It is left-hand side, I'd suspect. It's hard to tell from here, probably about 35 foot yards from goal. It's in line with the left-hand edge of the penalty area. It's deep onto the back post from Robertson, and the offside flag goes up. Yeah. Toby edits. I'm a massive Liverpool fan. I want Mbappe to join us. I'm a massive Liverpool fan, and I'm indifferent, if I'm honest. I think he's come. Oh, hang on, Diaz. Oh, the goalkeeper was played into all kinds of trouble on his line. He managed to just square the ball away from Diaz's press. Greuther under all kinds of Liverpool pressure here. They're doing really well. Robertson, late tackle from the Scot there. His man got away from him. He's tried to slide in. He's missed the ball. He's taken the man out. And that went from a very hairy moment for Greuther to actually a pretty promising counter. This is an interesting test, actually, because I've got no sense of what these teams are really like prior to this. But as I kind of surmised earlier, you've not really... They look like a good football team. They look like they want to get on the ball. They look like they want to pass and move. They want to create triangles. They want to play passes rather than... They're not just pumping the ball long into channels. They're not going direct. They're happy to play out from the back, and that's a really good test for Liverpool's pressing game. One of the things Jürgen talked about on the Liverpool podcast was... I mean, he said he wants to be the best in the world at every aspect of the game, which is fair, which is, lofty. But he did talk about bringing back, talk about being best in the world at the press again. So this is a decent little test for that. Yeah, diets, says Adam Hart. I need one of them. Don't we all, mate? It's one for Ben Doak to chase. Oh my God, the pace of the young man, he's got to it. He cuts inside onto his left foot, goes for goal. Oh, he should have been looking for the pass there. That was a very ambitious effort to think that he was going to get it past the goalie. It was too far and probably too narrow an angle on his weaker foot to really test the goalie. I mean, he did test the goalie. He got down, he made the save. I'd have been shocked if he'd managed to get in there. But once again, Liverpool spreading the play really nicely, being quite direct when it needed to be. Those pace down the flanks from Doak and Diaz are really giving Liverpool an option that we're causing problems for there. I mean, I guess Diaz is technically playing as right of a back three, I guess. But yeah, whether it's their centre halves, their wide centre halves, or it's the wing backs, it's going well so far. And yeah, as we can see, Conor Bradley, really impressed by Conor Bradley in that Karlsruhe game. He's not quite had the same level of impact so far, but again, different test so far. Liverpool had so much time and space to build up through the midfield areas. We saw Bobby Clark really getting on the ball last time in that right-hand attacking eight. I guess it's McAllister this time around. He's kind of been floating. He's been floating more for us this time. Anyway, free kick to deep one from Greuther Furth. It's headed across the goal. It's not quite cleared for the moment. They've got the ball on the right wing. They're going to try and go a little cut back there. And here's Dietz again. Cross block. Trent picks it up on the edge of the box. Tries to send Luis Diaz free. He just got his ankle clipped as he was trying to play the ball. But it's a little mix-up with the goalie. And he's just about dealt with it. Diaz tried to capitalise. And Diaz is looking sharp again, which is encouraging to see. Kind of feel like he'd become a bit of a forgotten man. I've heard a lot of talk about how he's not quite the right fit for us anymore because of the goals. And he was such just a breath of fresh air when he came into the side January before last. I really hope he's able to get back to that level again. Greuther are in behind here. Canate goes over, wins the ball. Ooh, little swing and a miss from Liverpool trying to clear the lines there. Here's Conor Bradley. Cuts inside. Nice ball. Gakpo jumped over it, just about got away with it. And Liverpool can build with Diogo Jota. He's got Diaz just outside of him, sitting a little deeper behind him. Diaz. Great ball inside. Central position for Cody Gakpo. Cody squares it. There's Conor Bradley, who, in that position looks very inverted. So, that's the first, for me anyway, the first clear sign that we are sticking with that system again. Trent tries to play it to him, but it's a bad ball. And Conor Bradley goes across. Good tackle. Good tackle from Conor Bradley there. He was sold down the river, really, by Trent's misplaced pass. And he goes in, sorts it out with a strong tackle, and Liverpool don't have possession, but not in any danger as the ball is back along the back line of Greuther. Casper makes a good point on Conor Bradley, saying Bradley in the inverted role saves us millions there. We'll see on that. I think this is the good thing about the training camp and Klopp having his way with pre-season training, is he's going to give them the best possible platform. I would be concerned if he was, starting in that position in the season. It goes back to it, we need DMs. I think Trent is still the best man for the job. The build-up looks like Doak on that right wing. Diaz has come near post. Little give and go. Conor Bradley tries to play around the corner, just broke down. Yeah, just a little bit of decision making in the final third for Liverpool, not being a little profligate so far. The build-up's been excellent, really working those situations. Our touches in the box, if there was someone measuring those stats, I think would be very, very encouraging so far. But just a little bit of overplaying, and overplaying comes in pre-season because it's that level of understanding with the players around you. And look at what kind of transpires there. You've got Doak, Diaz, and Conor Bradley all in kind of close proximity to one another. It's never happened in a football game before, like never. So understanding comes with training and game time, of course. But it does feel like Liverpool, certainly the team on top, but Greuther giving a good account of themselves. They've managed to get themselves into some decent positions. Here's a potential now. Andy Robertson cuts out a ball in behind, fights. Liverpool recover it. Is Luis Diaz crossing the halfway line. He's got an overlapping run on the left from Jota, who picks it up. No one else making that run towards the box. Goes back to Andy Robertson. It's a hard ball across. Pardon me, it's Conor Bradley trying to play it in behind. His ball was just, it's not quite the right pass to meet the runner. And Greuther managed to go back to the goalie, and it looks like they're going to pick up a free kick, possibly for offside there. Oh, I'll tell you what, that sneeze didn't half clear me sinuses. A message from Katie. Please tell me Chris burned that pink shirt. Chris, I love Chris's shirt that he wore at our live show was absolutely first rate. I'm not having that. I refuse to countenance criticism of Chris's dress sense that day. It was a little extravagant for who we are and what we were doing, admittedly. But I do like a good wild shirt. I've got a few that I'm saving for me summer holidays myself. James asks the question, where is Szoboszlai? James Gornal. He picked up a slight injury, apparently rolled his ankle in training, so as much as he's still been training, he's not being risked for this. I mean, no point in putting anyone through the ringer for no reason. They'll be getting put through the ringer in terms of training and fitness and in sessions and all that. In a match, there's no need. They've got that many players. There's no need to risk. Does give us an interesting look as Liverpool try to battle it back in the midfield with Cody Gakpo. Came away with it as well. I don't know if the referee's allowed play on there. I think he's called it back. Yeah, free kick to the Reds inside our half. The who starts up front thing, at the moment, it looks like Jota is the main man in terms of leading the line for us. Liverpool coming forward here. Love a little cut back to Cody Gakpo. Approaching the 18-yard box. Robertson on the overlap picks it up on the left-hand side of the 18-yard box. Plays it to Jota. Jota to Diaz. Back to Jota. Jota. Oh, my word. The give and goes are absolutely exceptional. He just couldn't find a clear shooting angle. His shot is deflected. It's picked up once again by Doak. Is McAllister on the edge. Trent. Diaz. Coming from right to left here. Diaz is into the box. He's past the man. He's past another man. Oh, what a goal. Luis Diaz. Absolutely exceptional. The Reds are off the mark. Luis Diaz is off the mark. What a goal. Oh, my God. I mean, we talk about the levels that we play at in pre-season. And look, we're talking about a second-tier German side in Greuther Furth. But Luis Diaz looks a cut above, a mile above, really, at the moment. Him and Doak have had some really good opportunities, standing the men up. Diaz, great little drop of the shoulder. He picks up, he's quite central, he's just left of the D, goes past one, past another, and then bends his shot round the third. He's past the 22, past the 2, 33 Dietz, which we've already identified, can't stop him. Standing there like a bit of a statue, to be honest. So, not the best defending, but look, fabulous goal to watch from Luis Diaz, and that's what we want to see from him, getting into those danger areas and getting shots off on goal, because the only way you're going to score more goals is if you take more shots from better areas. I could have simplified that better. there you go. Liverpool are 1 up in their second pre-season game. Just going back to Casper's point, by the way, sorry, I was a little dismissive of that. I agree that Conor Bradley could save us millions. I think it's smart. He's just gone and done his loan in League One, got some really good experience. He looks much more the right physique. He's got pace. He's definitely seen as more of an attacking player than just a right back. But it'd be interesting to know whether he's got that little bit more rigidity. He looks fast. And I think, if you're going to play someone who's got to cover that ground, you could do a lot worse, particularly as an understudy. Liverpool have won it back. Diogo Jota on the press. Jota! Oh! He's put it wide. Oh, he's gone for the near post. It was fabulous pressing from Diogo Jota there. Just nicked the ball off his opposing number. Strode in. And he just should maybe have gone across the keeper. Diaz put the pressure on. Jota stole in from a poor header. Gets in on goal. And I don't know whether does he scuff it? Does he deliberately go for the near post? Let's have another little look. Yeah, he looked like he just tried to give the keeper the eyes maybe and goes for the near post, but it's inches wide. Really unlucky. Right, sound. But yeah, really good. I mean, really, really good stuff from Liverpool so far. Diaz looking lively, Jota looking lively, Doak looking lively. Trent playing the ball forward. Oh, Alexis McAllister, look for the outside of the boot ball. It was Gakpo who was making the run in behind. We haven't seen quite enough of that. Gakpo's playing very reserved so far. A really reserved performance, like bits and pieces behind the front line. We haven't seen him make that burst and run just yet, and that was the first real indication of it. Trent Alexander-Arnold is back to goal, manages to give it back to Virgil van Dijk. Nice little give and go from Trent, but this ball had a little bit too much zip on it into the feet of McAllister, and it breaks down. There's Cody Gakpo pressing the keeper. He's played through the press. You can see Liverpool engaging all over the pitch now, trying to suffocate the life out of Greuther at the back. They're doing really well. Again, this is the point about Greuther Furth. Well done, Ibu Konate. I'm not sure he's had a free kick given against them. I mean, very aggressive defending from Ibu. He's halfway inside their half, winning the ball back, and I thought he did. It's hard to tell from the wide angle. The finer points of what made connection first, whether he kicked the legs before getting the ball. But I'd have said play on with that. But then I'm horrendously biased. They've given it away again, and yeah, Liverpool really getting on top now. Is Luis Diaz in behind? He's round the goalkeeper. He tries to cut it back, and he slips right at the byline, and it will go for a goal kick. But again, Greuther now. It just looks like Liverpool have clocked them. Have figured out what they're doing and how they're passing out from the back, and we've just maybe stepped up a gear in terms of how many we're committing. It was Doak with the through ball. Diaz got the topo ground the keeper, but it was just a little bit. In fact, maybe it was a McAllister, but it was just at a little bit too high pace, and yeah, he couldn't recover it before it went out of play. Yeah, it will be a goal kick. Jahan asked the question. Who do you think will have a breakout season this year, mate? I think that's a really good question, to be honest. And again, pre-season, it's so hard to base on pre-season, because I can think of like Isaac Maguire looked brilliant last year, and then we've just not seen hide nor heard of him. I remember Yasser Larouci having a really good pre-season. Who was the guy we sold to the pseudo right back, Rafael Camacho? I'd say Doak, but I've liked all the preseason. I think Bobby Clark has gone really under the radar. He's very, very highly regarded. I'm not sure where he might need injuries to get his game or really, really step up. But I was impressed with him in the last game. He's another one who it will be interesting to see whether we get a loan for him, or is he still okay to play under 21 football predominantly? We'll see. But Doak, yeah, I mean, it's Doak's pace. it's pace and power. He is only short, but he's stocky. So when we did the Jordan Henderson interview for the Bobby Doc, we bumped into Doak while we were at the AXA, and you know he's there's nothing of him height wise, but he's a broad kid, and he's clearly got that, like, again, the narc and the gnarl about him. He's happy to fight. So yeah, he would definitely be an obvious one to keep an eye out for. But I'm interested in Bradley. I'm interested to see. We've obviously let Calvin Ramsey go out on loan, who we bought in expressly for the first team. And is Conor Bradley just going to be our understudy right back for this season? If he is, that's a big role there. Little header forward, and Allison can claim it. Hitchin Baz, who's been a member for 36 months as a first teamer, says, thanks for giving me 36 months of class content. No, Baz, thank you so much for being with us on the journey. Yeah, I'm really so much to come this season. I know it was crap last year, but you know, it might be, even if it's crap this year, I think I'm better prepared for it. Psychologically, my bar's set a lot lower, so I'll feel like I'll be quite as devastated. But you know, we'll always try to keep a smile on everyone's face. That's always been the role we've done for. Again, we're in our 14th year here. Apparently I've got a never-ending cup of tea. I wish, sadly. It's over. It's gone. Ben Pryor, the ultimate commenter. I'm really pleased with the start. We look very sharp and refined. Yeah, and that's it. You know, great to look an interesting challenge in how they're playing. In fact, interesting. They're defending in a back four there. Anyway, Diaz, left hand side of the penalty area, little cut back. Gakpo looks for the return, gets it, shoots. Oh, it was venomous. It was whipped over the goalie's head, over the bar. But again, lovely little give and go. And it's one thing that, you know, the best of Jurgen Klopp's sides really had that going for them. Was, yeah, we had the front three. You could score goals in all kinds of ways. But that hold-up play, that link play, getting into the box, working give and goes. And then it's Jota holds it up. Gakpo arrives. He's got two men. You can see it, there's like a closing window of opportunity for him to get the ball through. And I think as a result, he kind of stabs at it. By all accounts, it looks like he got a touch with it. It was the goalie or the defender. It's a corner, far side. Andy Robertson going for the in-swinger again. Keeper's on his toes. Gakpo moves to the near post. They've gone deep. Centre of the box. It hit Van Dijk. It looked like it just hit him. It kind of like went back and recoiled. The ball floats up into the air. The goalkeeper claims it and the chance goes. Half an hour played. DJ says, do we think we'll get Lavia? I'm not sure, mate, if I'm honest. I talked about the potential options. I do think there's a third option for what we do, where we just go and buy one prime age footballer. Oh, great, they're in behind here, and the flag goes up. And then you don't need Lavia. You know, as opposed to getting a stopgap and a young lad, just go and get someone who's 23, who's ready now. And then, if in that instance, I think there's a chance where if we can negotiate the right fees, but there's a world where you're looking at 60 odd plus million for Palhinha and 40 to 50 for Lavia, 110 million pound for two footballers who, let's be honest, are probably not quite at the level we need. Yeah. So yeah, I'd like Lavia as part of a rounded Windows business, but I think they only get him if they get him for around 35 to 40, or a negotiated deal, you know, over payment terms or whatever. Anyway, Robertson. You start to see Gakpo's influence growing in this game. Seems like he's getting to grips with the role that he's playing, and it's giving him a bit more freedom. Conor Bradley turning on it in midfield. Trent Alexander-Arnold plays the ball into the path of Andy Robertson on that left-hand side. He's got Diaz inside him, gets it, turns on it, looks towards goal, goes back to Trent. Gakpo, Trent, back to Gakpo. Lovely turn, tried a little give and go, well blocked. It's brave play from Conor Bradley. I tell you what, I mean, this kid, you know, we've got him pegged as a right back. I've no idea really how he was at Bolton, and it's not a fair level to judge him at either way, but I'm really enjoying how much he wants the ball. He's playing like a midfielder, and he's doing a really good job of it so far. Diaz goes back to his Trent again. Just a little little laboured from Trent on the turn there. I do wonder whether he's just a little fatigued from the training sessions. We often forget about this when we're watching these, but obviously Jürgen and co run them into the ground doing pre-season training, and then they play a game on top. It's not like when you play a game where your training builds up to the game, so you have a lighter session in the build up to it or whatever. This is like intense game, and that's why you lose intensity after 25 minutes, half an hour in these kind of games. Oh, Diet is down. So yeah, right. Why do you think Bradley's playing ahead of Gomez? Because Gomez, because Bradley can play that inverted role and Gomez can't. Would be my take on it, mate. Gomez played right back in the second half, but that's because we shifted the inverted role to the left-hand side. So Kostas Tsimikas was playing in midfield, although he was nominally playing at left back. I don't think Gomez can do it the other way around. Would be my overriding take on it. And so far, I can see the difference. Bradley's doing stuff that Gomez could not do. There's a little cooling break, water break here for the team. Jürgen Klopp giving some big instructions there, like quite animated instructions to Trent. This is not like ha, we're all good, we're all having fun. He's being quite vociferous in his chat to Trent there. Right. Well, let's see what we got. Thank you so much for this. Sometimes you just need a bit of support in the comments. And Lee here, empty cup of tea, sad times, $1.99 for the refill. Thank you so much, mate. That's lovely of you. Let's see if it works. I get one at half time, but thanks so much, Lee. Much appreciated. Don't know if you noticed that. Acting. I love these streams, they're the best. I hate when football's really serious. Ian Chater, I answered a bit on this earlier on, but thanks for the question again. Do you think Kimmich would be a wonderful signing, cover for right back, but the main DM? I think I like the shape of Kimmich, and if you were going to buy someone who was 28, I'd rather buy Josh Kimmich than João Palhinha, I think. Mainly as well because it's just a reputation. It's a nice message signing as well, and against that point, I think you've got the flexibility that Kimmich will give you. Although can he be that flexible in the Premier League is a big question. It's a question people who watch the Bundesliga. Has Josh Kimmich got the legs to play an inverted right back in the Premier League? Because if we think Trent's not the quickest. I don't know. I honestly don't know enough about the strengths of Kimmich. So yeah, let us know. Cool. Greuther Furth building it up from the back. We've got Scottish Bond fan. People can let me know theirs as well. Answers to this question. Ibu Karate just shrugs his man off and gets the free kick there. Scottish Bond fan. Top 4 Premier League predictions. I think I do think Liverpool are going to finish in the top 4. I think we're going to finish second this season. It'll be a fight between us and Arsenal for second. I think City are just going to, unless we're just back in a huge way, which is possible, but I think the best we can hope for is second this season, because I just think it's City's to throw away. And there doesn't look like any reason why they would. Liverpool attacking now. Ball in behind. Diogo Jota cuts it across. Oh, his cross was cut out. Diaz was hovering with intent at the back post. Didn't quite make it through. Oh, we've got a poll in the chat. Go ahead. And when that page loads in, I'll be all over it. Thanks, Joe. Better actor, Paul or Daniel Day-Lewis? Just saying. Would you believe that Daniel Day-Lewis was drinking a cup of tea when there was nothing in the cup? Oh, hang on a second, chance. Jota, he's at the post. Oh my word, I'm getting lost in all this Oscar bait chat. Diogo Jota really pounced on a next to nothing opportunity, got in behind, nicked the ball away from the goalkeeper. Let's just see that, yeah, he was lifted towards the goalie. He obviously dived out of Jota's feet. He stayed brave, swiveled on it, Ian Rush style, left-footed from an acute angle. And he just put too much bend on it. It just came off that near post. Diogo Jota, so lively. Once again, he was such a threat in the second half of the last game. And he's really, really come to the fore in this match again for the Reds. Gakpo. Oh, Gakpo. Still Gakpo. Diaz is in behind. Oh, Jota's pass was just underplayed. Just fractionally, like 2 inches. Just, I don't know. How do you measure the pace of a pass? A mile an hour too slow. I don't know. It was great. Oh, Cody Gakpo in midfield. Spun his man. Yeah. Spun his man, and then the ball was there. It was such an obvious to-do ball, and he just underplayed it. Yeah, there you go. And conclusively, then, I think that I'm a better actor than Daniel Day-Lewis. Thank you so much, chat. 69% to 31%. I'm happy with that. Thanks, Joe. Joe has dislocated his knee, ladies and gentlemen. Could we send some love for Joe in the comments? He's bravely soldiering on. He's basically going to be producing all of the shows this week because he can't go up and down stairs, so we can't go into the office for a rest. So if we can just send some hearts and loves for Joe in the comments, that'd be much appreciated. Yeah. Bad times. He was playing football. Apparently, it was the last minute. And his team had come back from 4 goals down, and it was a 50-50. It was an all or nothing, and Joe went for it, and he got the touch, turned it round the goalie, and like it crept into, like, I think he said to me, it was like it existed in slow motion, and the ball just crept over the line, and the crowd, 100,000 capacity in attendance, went absolutely wild, and they started chanting his name, and he was carried off on a stretcher, but the players like held him up over their heads to kind of like parade him as well. Liverpool had a chance and they broke down because we couldn't find the right through ball. A percentage of what I've said is true there, but either way, send some love and support for Joe in the comments, please. Farhan says, I'm a Bolton fan. Connor Bradley is special. He's got pace and can score goals. Good, that's what I like to hear. Thank you so much for that, Farhan. I love a bit of insight from fans of teams who've seen our players on loan. Diaz gets it again. Lots more players starting to gather around him. Robertson, Gakpo. Connor Bradley in an advanced position there. He's got Dokes on the ball now. Tries to play give and go. Bradley, it does break down. Bradley on the press. Greuther have got it, but they've got all kinds of red shirts swarming around them here. Connor Bradley, big, strong sliding tackle, puts it into the stands. Very committed. Good to say. Good to see. We had a few comments about this, by the way. I asked the question about Kimmich. Craig Taylor says Kimmich is slower. That rent. Good to know. Thanks, mate. Liverpool building again. Swarm of bodies. Diaz, heavy first touch, but he's kept it alive somehow. He's still going. He's down a blind alley, and he's eventually tackled. And Greuther just about managed to stay alive in this game. They've gone back, playing it around the back. Liverpool, look at the hunger and the hunt from this Liverpool team. And it was one of the things that Klopp again discussed on that podcast about wanting to see the hunger, wanting to see the passion. I'm seeing it more in this pre-season games than I've seen at times in a lot of pre-season games for Liverpool. And I've covered a lot of games, you know, all over the world and you know, on telly and in the stadiums and from press boxes and all kinds. And I've been really impressed by the attitude, by the players. There seems to be a real hunger and desire. Hitchin Baz, back with the super chat, says, Paul, have you thought of hiring a YTS T-boy? I think it's a YouTube T-boy. That feels like a paywall job, that. Here's his first week's ways. Yeah, let's get some more. Get him in polishing boots and making cups of tea. Yeah, that's what we need. Yeah, thanks so much for that, Baz. Much appreciated. The ball runs past the goal. We've got the final few minutes of the half. I think, I mean, look, it goes without saying that it would be nice to see Liverpool score another goal before half-time, but I think it would be deserved and, you know, kind of just rewards for the efforts put out. Jota, it would be nice to see Jota get another one. Virgil van Dijk goes across and just shuts down that opportunity. Craig Harris, or Harris Craig, man's so good. It's got 2 first names. What's your favourite holiday you've been to? Went to America the year after I finished university. Did New York and Florida. It was excellent. And then I went back years later with my wife as well, which I probably should have said as the main one. We also did Vegas last summer on a live show tour, and we renewed our vows in Vegas, which was fucking awesome. Here we go from Storms. This is the one. Look at that. Joe is a soldier. Tip out some gin for Joe. He's not dead. But his leg is. It's not really, he's just dislocated, isn't he? He'll be fine. He'll probably be fine. Likely be fine. So, we've got some questions. Chlebru asks, what is the formation? So, the formation is effectively the 3-box-3. So Conor Bradley is playing the inverted right-back role that Trent did at the end of the season, which he did in the first half of the game against Karlsruhe as well. In possession, out of possession, it's a bit more 4-3-3. But yeah, I've been impressed. Liverpool have gotten better and stronger again. The more they've played in it, I think they've and that whole thing that Pep Linda's talked about working it out on the pitch. It really feels like they've done that. They've gotten a grip for the challenge that's been laid out ahead of them, and they've gotten stronger as the game's gone on. Now, again, you'd expect them to. It's early doors pre-season for both teams, and Liverpool have got superior quality all across the pitch. But, it is what it is. You can see these teams can give us a bloody nose. God knows we saw it with Karlsruhe in the midweek. So, so far so good from the Reds as we close in on half-time, just knocking the ball around the back. Virgil van Dijk takes from Alisson. There's been enough challenge in this that I think it's been a good workout for the lads who even haven't been loads involved. So like Kanate and Van Dijk have been active enough that it's totally been a decent enough fitness test. Van Dijk claims a fizzed return ball there from Conor Bradley. Robertson looks up. Good shape from Greuther Furth there again, just not making it easy to play through. So we haven't had too much of it, where we've just dominated possession and we've been like looking to pick them apart. It's all been done at quite a good pace. It is half time. Virgil van Dijk, who was the captain in the first half, removes the armband. You presume he will be coming off. Gomez and Matip, you would suspect, will be coming on for the second half, and probably Jarell Quansah, you'd imagine. I'll check the Liverpool Twitter account in a minute to see where we're at. Let me know your thoughts. Who've been your stand-up players? Give me your top 3. If you've got one player you want to really talk about, then give me the player name and give me a 1 or 2 sentence sort of review on what you really enjoyed about them. Or do you want to just give me your top 3 performers of that half? Just write them in the comments as well. That would be great. Terry Super T. Paul, what do you think of Trent's hybrid role? Well, in general, I think it's the way forward. It just looks like this is the next evolution of 4-3-3 at the moment. Obviously, we haven't seen him play it in pre-season yet. He's been playing as the 6 for us. He's been playing in Fabinho's position, and I think he's been okay. I don't see that as Trent's best position, if I'm being honest. I just think because you play with your back to goal a bit too much, I think. Whereas I think if you're playing as inverted, you're coming on into the play a lot more. Pardon me, and you get to push forward and support the attack. Some of the positions that Conor Bradley's been taking up have been quite nice, and I would prefer those still to see Trent in those because he is just more of a playmaker. That would be an interesting one. Adam, I think it's Adam. Gakpo, horny. He was really quiet probably the first half of the half, and that I think there's a couple of things in that of he was just letting getting up to speed with the game, getting an understanding of where they are, because the thing about playing in the midfield for us, you've got to make sure that you're not leaving huge gaps in behind you, because that's where so many of our problems came from last year, was not protecting the defence enough, over committing in midfield and leaving the back door open. But we were very weak through the middle of the pitch last season. Gakpo just looks like he's just such a fabulous all-round player that I could see him playing that role more regularly for us, playing in the midfield. What we've actually seen is, and I thought it'd be the other way, is he's played the left and 8, and McAllister's played the right hand one, and it's just a thing of the camera angle, because the camera's quite far away and the players are quite small. You tend to notice the players further away from the screen less, but Gakpo, I mean, he's huge, so he stands out, but also I feel like he's been a bit more involved than McAllister in that game, although he was McAllister was solid enough. Right, we've got loads more comments here, I'll get through them. Ginger Crumpet, are you concerned about lack of transfers? No, I'm not. I'm concerned at how many we've had too many transfers, if I'm being honest. No, I'm not. I'm really not. I just think the pressure's on too much for Liverpool to be casual this summer. I just don't think they will be. I don't think we're going to end up in a situation where we'll wait on a year for the right player. As in, and by no one, I mean, I don't think we'll leave ourselves in that situation, because I don't think Klopp can afford to. Because if we have another season where we end up in the Europa League, he'll get sacked. You know, he will. You know, or he'll have to be forced to all the pressure will mount on him. And not that I think his job's in any real danger. I just do think they'll get it right. I don't think it's a huge talking point. But they've got to get the transfers right, and getting the right transfers means that you can't just push the button on some. It's taken us a while to get the right deals, and also I think they're allowing themselves a bit of flexibility in the market. I do keep contending this. Mbappe is going to move the market on in a huge way. If Real Madrid want him, they're going to need to find money, and that might open the door for someone like Tchouaméni to become available, and then can Liverpool pounce on that as an example? There's other moves, you know. Yeah, I don't think it's ideal. But I'm not concerned as such. Yeah. Okay, Hitchin Baz, half-time discussion. If the Fab deal does fall through, would you get him on the next flight to Germany, or would you find another deal? I would be finding another deal. I think it's the right time to sell Fabinho. I do. I would be happy if we just kept him around sound. But I think the fact that they were so quick to accept that deal says more. From a personal perspective, yeah, I would keep him until I see what we're going to do else. But you know, again, if we've got a brilliant player in the works, and that's because of Fabinho moving on, then let's evolve. Let's do the next thing. Right now, because we don't know who that next player is, and Fabinho's leaving, I'm still I'm a little. There's obviously a little. Yeah, I just said I'm not concerned. Maybe there is a little concern around that. But yeah, right now, I think Bayern Munich for 40 million would be a well better move for them, to be honest. But yeah, we'll have to see whether that does happen or not. Right. We're going to take a break because I'm going to give you guys some chance to get some of your answers in and some questions or whatever, talking points, fill your boots on all of that. But mainly I'm just going to go to the toilet and have a huge yawn. We will return. We will be discussing we'll be discussing the second half team. We'll be discussing the highlights of the first half. But make sure you get it in. If you're looking for something to do in your halftime break as well, it's going to go 3 minutes or so. Go and pre-order Bobby Firmino, Best in the World, our brand new book. So I've just spent the half an hour or so before coming into this studio signing the author-signed editions. They look so good. But yeah, you'll be able to go to redmenmerch.com and grab your copy of Bobby Firmino, Best in the World, our brand new book. It's absolutely amazing. It looks the business. Great present for yourself or for any Bobby Firmino or Liverpool fans in your life. And the signed editions are even better as well. So yeah, get involved with that, and I shall return in a few minutes' time. Hey everyone, brand new month, brand new incredible Liverpool competition prize over on redmenplus.com. It is what we have affectionately dubbed the Legends shirt. Every former Liverpool player that we interviewed over the course of the season, we got them to sign this wonderful Liverpool home shirt. That includes, and let me get the list for you, you've got Rush, Aurelio, Skrtel, Aldridge, Steve McMahon, Mark Wright, Jay Spearing and Adam Lallana. All you need to do is go to redmenplus.com, join as a club legend, or upgrade an existing subscription from club captain to club legend, and you will be in the prize draw at the end of the month for our incredible Liverpool legend shirt. redmenplus.com.
You could see he had ability. Definitely.
The most skillful number 9 Liverpool have ever had.
He was part of one of the greatest teams
Liverpool have ever put together.
A legend forever.
Gives everything for the fans and everything for the club.
Everyone to a person said, I love Bobby Firmino.
Great example of hard work, of dedication on and off the pitch.
He's one of them players, he does a lot of things for the team that goes unnoticed.
He's world class.
Já no CRB ele já era visto como uma promessa, mas ele decidiu ir para o futebol da Alemanha.
Hat Hoffenheim als das gesehen, was es ist, ein Ausbildungsverein, ein kleiner Verein, der für ihn den nächsten Schritt ermöglicht für die Seleção, für einen größeren Verein.
I knew sooner or later he will leave the club because he was definitely for something bigger.
You know, you fly across the world and all of a sudden we're signing this deal that would become incredible for the team.
Firmino had a quiet start at Liverpool.
When Jurgen first came in and seeing people don't realise how good he is.
The confidence was there. He knew the manager backed him, trusted him.
Bobby was the key that made that team work so well.
Champions League, European Super Cup, Club World Cup, Premier League in the space of 13 months.
He was right at the heart of everything.
Part of the team that brought the title back. That team will never be forgotten.
I'm going to be telling my kids and my grandkids about what Bobby Firmino did at Liverpool Football Club.
He'd be a big miss for everyone.